prose that I'm going to be performing is from a book called Sophie's Choice by William Styron. I'll just give you a bit of background just so you know where my prose fits in. The story is about a Polish girl called Sophie, and she's actually a World War II survivor. She's actually survived a number of concentration camps, including Auschwitz. And my prose takes place when Sophie has arrived with her 2 young children, a young boy and her little girl Eva. She's arrived at Auschwitz and she's standing in front of the notorious Dr. Göring, who chooses whether they go left or right, so whether they live or essentially whether they die. So that's where Sophie and her 2 children are at this point. So thank you. The doctor was a little unsteady on his feet. He leaned over and murmured something. Eva, who was pressing heavily against Sophie's leg, began to cry. So, you believe in Christ the Redeemer? The doctor said in a thick-tongued but oddly abstract voice. Did he not say, "Suffer, little children, come unto me"? Sophie, choked with fear, was about to attempt to reply when the doctor said, "You can choose one of your children." "Bitte?" said Sophie. "You may choose one of your children," the doctor repeated. "You mean I have to choose?" said Sophie. "You are a Polak, not a Yid. You have a privilege, a choice. The other one will have to go. Which one will you keep?" Sophie's thought process dwindled, ceased, and then she felt her legs crumple. "I can't choose! I can't choose!" She began to scream. Oh, how she recalled her own screams. Tormented angels never screamed louder above hell's pandemonium. "Ich kann nicht wählen!" she shouted. The doctor was aware of unwanted attention. "Shut up!" he ordered. "Hurry up and choose! Choose, goddammit, or I'll send them both over there!" She could not believe any of this. She could not believe that she was kneeling on the hurtful, abrading concrete, drawing her children toward her so smotheringly tight that she felt as if their skin would be engrafted to hers. Her disbelief was total, deranged. The disbelief was reflected in the eyes of the gaunt, waxy-skinned young Rottenführer, to whom she felt herself inexplicably looking up toward in supplication. He returned her gaze with a wide-eyed, baffled expression as if to say, "I can't understand this either." "Don't make me choose," she heard herself plead in a whisper. "I can't choose." "Send them both over there then," the doctor ordered. "Mama!" She heard Eva's thin but soaring cry as she thrust the child away from her and stumbled clumsily up from the concrete. "Take the baby," she called. "Take my little girl." At that moment, the aide, with the careful gentleness that Sophie would try without success to forget, tugged at Eva's hand and led her away to the waiting legion of the damned. She would always retain a dim impression that the child continued to look back, beseeching. But but she was now almost completely blinded with thick, salty tears, that she was spared the expression that Eva wore. And she was always grateful for that. For in the bleakest honesty of her heart, she knew that she could never tolerate it, driven nearly mad as she was by that last, vanishing glimpse of that small form.